There has been so much conversation about Reva. So far, I think the third sister is a pretty interesting Inquisitor. I've enjoyed her in the first half of Kenobi and I can't wait to see where her story goes. But one thing I've seen a lot of fan debate and discussion about are her true intentions and her motive within the scope of the show. Ever since episode 1, I've been convinced that Reva is one of the surviving younglings we see in the Order 66 flashback. Positioning this moment right at the start of the show seems very deliberate and indicative of an important callback later on in the series. Now, right from the start, one thing has been made very clear, that Reva has a personal vendetta against Obi-Wan. She is obsessed with hunting him down and handing him over to her master, Lord Vader, but this obsession has gotten her scorned by the other Inquisitors, and as a result, by this point in the show, she's working alone against the others. The goal of this, from what the show has told us, is her ambition to become the Grand Inquisitor, but I believe this is a deliberate misdirect that Deborah Chow placed here to later reveal a more important motive. Let's break it all down. Despite what episode 2 showed us, according to Joby Harold, the Grand Inquisitor is still alive. And Lucasfilm do not plan on breaking canon or retconning Rebels. He's still out there, he's fine. And that means that Vader promising Reva the position of Grand Inquisitor, if she succeeds, is him deliberately manipulating her so that she and the other Inquisitors work harder, but in the end, they'll never attain that position. This same deal that Vader made with Reva is hinted to have also been made with the fifth brother, which is why he and Reva are now in competition with one another, but I suspect Reva has a hidden agenda, one that's not been revealed to us yet. She's on a personal mission, and the real vendetta is not against Kenobi, but rather Darth Vader himself. The entire time, her aim was to get closer to Vader, not so that she has a better chance of surviving when he's done with the Inquisitors, but so that she can gain his trust and then kill him. Her goal of becoming Grand Inquisitor is just a means to the eventual end. Now, we know that Reva is not going to succeed, but I think that's her goal, so you might be wondering why. Because it's very likely that Vader is the one who killed the Jedi younglings in her group in the Order 66 flashback. As we head into the second half of the show, there is a very good chance there was more to that flashback and we're going to see the second half of it. Now, as an adult, Reva never really let go of the past, where she lost everything. Now we see that conflict within her in a very important scene, when she gets angry seeing the emblem of the Jedi Order in the Underground Railroad. Many fans wrongly assumed this was pure hatred, but it wasn't. She feels betrayed by the Jedi, and a part of her probably still wishes that she had been saved by someone like Quinlan Vos. And while she does have anger towards the Jedi and blames them, a part of her never really let go. There is more evidence of this in the original Making Star Wars leaks, before the ending was reportedly cut and changed. It was said that Obi-Wan was going to confront her about this conflict, and that's when she was going to have a redemption arc, when she saw the bigger picture and the mission that Kenobi was trying to achieve on Tatooine. So in a large way, her anger is just as much towards Vader and probably the Emperor as the Jedi, because in her eyes, Vader took everything from her, her original life path, all the Jedi she came to know, tearing her from the safety of the Jedi Temple and killing those she came to see as family. But as I said, my dear friends, for now, she is concealing her mission behind the goal of becoming Grand Inquisitor, but her ultimate goal is to get revenge over Vader himself. But bear in mind, Vader is extremely intuitive and intelligent, and I'm starting to think that he's onto her. When Vader was fighting a weakened Kenobi, he probably realized there's no way in hell that this is the man that defeated the Grand Inquisitor, which is what Reva had Vader believe. He probably now realizes the third sister lied to him. How it's all gonna play out is yet to be seen, but all of this, guys, is just my theory for now and nothing concrete. But I do think this would be the logical trajectory for a character going forward. But as I say, anything is possible. I think Moses Ingram is doing a great job in the role, and what's really awesome about all of the Inquisitors is just how different they are from one another. They have strikingly contrasting personalities with their own ambitions and unique approaches to the hunt. One thing I do wonder though, and I did put this forward on Twitter, is why isn't the seventh sister from Rebels in this show? She would still be around because we're before Star Wars Rebels, and it would be awesome if she does come into it in season 2. But in terms of Inquisitors, this season is all about Reva. Now before I go, guys, I wanted to talk about some really cool Easter eggs in the Kenobi series so far, ones we haven't spoken about in previous videos. So in the sequences with Tala and the Path, we've often spoken about Quinlan Vos. I made a whole video talking about him him, his possible involvement in this series, and how he could relate to Grogu, but some of the other inscriptions on the wall do reveal some big secrets. One Easter egg spotted by a keen-eyed viewer on Reddit is an Aurebesh scribbling that translates to the name Doom. This is likely a reference to Caleb Doom, the given name of Kanan Jarrus, an Order 66 survivor who is a fan favourite from Star Wars Rebels. We also saw him in the Bad Batch Season 1, and I think there's a good chance we might see him in Season 2 as well. This Easter egg is likely nothing more than that, but some other key writings on the wall revealed some other Jedi names, many of which are deep cuts from Star Wars Legends, which was really awesome to see. And we also see the phrase for light and for life, which is a reference to the High Republic era. Now, going into the 4th episode, we're no doubt going to see the Force colony on Jabim, where there are Force-sensitive children and surviving Jedi, and I'm super excited to see what's in store. Director Deborah Chow previously teased that even more cameos are in store for the upcoming episodes. In her own words, she said, "I don't think it'd be Star Wars if we didn't have some Easter eggs, and we didn't have some cameos, so there are definitely some to come." She said, "I think for us, what we do have in the show, it needed to come out of character for us. We didn't want to just put things in for the sake of it, and while cameos are not everything, they're certainly important for a series like Kenobi, which directly follows on 10 years after the prequels, so this is certainly the show to wow fans, and if more familiar faces are to show up, I'm sure the nostalgia factor is going to be very high, but they do have to work in context of the narrative. That's why I mentioned Quinlan Vos, possibly Grogu, but there are so many characters that could work as allies for Obi-Wan. We can't rule out anything, and I'm sure there are some surprises to come." And another reason I mention this is that Ewan McGregor was a producer on the show, and he's been talking for a long time about characters from episodes 1 to 3 that he would love to bring into the show. He recently name-dropped Jar Jar Binks, and while I'm not saying it's for certain, if Ewan wanted to make a certain character or characters appear, they would probably find a way of making it happen.
I loved working with Ahmed Best, who played Jar Jar Binks. Maybe we could bring him back.
Personally, I'm excited for the possibility of Qui-Gon's Force Ghost, and I'd love to see some Padme flashbacks. We know that there are going to be some Clone Wars flashbacks with Hayden and Ewan, but anything extra would be the cherry on top of the pudding. So bring on episode 4, we're so close now. And I just want to ask you guys a question, just to get a sort of fan community consensus. I've asked this on the community tab about specific episodes, but generally, how are you feeling going into the second half of the show? Has it impressed you? Are you disappointed? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And with that said, my friends, that brings us to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and if you're feeling generous and you want to contribute to the channel while also getting access to videos not found here on YouTube, then click the link down there in the description. But until the next one, my dear friends, may the Force be with you always. I'm Star Wars Meg. Have a good one.